let's talk about the Tony Awards last night. So the Tony Awards happened last night, and apparently the deep thinkers at the Tony Awards felt the necessity to virtue signal to all of their friends in the theater industry. This began with Robert De Niro. So Robert De Niro gets up, and he gives a very eloquent statement of why he opposes President Trump, like a very eloquent, deep statement of why President Trump ought to be ousted and is a grave threat to the system of American democracy.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
Okay, we bleeped it out. He says F Trump right there. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. I'm just going to say one thing. F Trump. Such bravery. Stunning bravery.
Down with Trump, it's Trump.
No longer down with Trump. It's F Trump. Oh, bravery. Bravery beyond all measure. Bravery beyond all capacity. I'm sure that everyone in that audience hated Trump until that moment, and then Robert De Niro spoke truth to power. And suddenly, all of the love that they had for Trump up till then turned to hate. Wow, what unbelievable, just speaking truth. And the explanation, I mean, the real fulsome explanation of why he opposes President Trump there really is quite meaningful. I will say, like, I thought it was a convincing case, a beautifully convincing case by Robert De Niro for why you shouldn't support President Trump. And good for, what an amazing dude Robert De Niro is. And then Andrew Garfield gets up. So Andrew Garfield, who you recall from such great movies as Spider-Man, the reboot that was then rebooted, Andrew Garfield is in Angels in America. So Angels in America, you'll remember as a tendentious, overlong, ridiculous, crappy TV series from HBO, starring half of Hollywood. It's like a 9-hour meditation on homosexuality in America from like 1960s on. And they made a 7-hour Wagnerian production of it for Broadway, in which Andrew Garfield plays a young gay man suffering from AIDS. And Andrew Garfield gets up at the Tony Awards, where a quarter of the audience probably is gay, and he starts lecturing Americans in front of the cameras about the Masterpiece Cake Shop case because he doesn't know anything about law or about, apparently, decency. So he gets up, and then he starts talking about, let's down with the Supreme Court. So we had Robert De Niro, F Trump, and now we have Andrew Garfield speaking from the heart about why Christians should be forced to violate their own religious precepts.
We are all sacred and we all belong, so let's just bake a cake for everyone who wants a cake to be baked.
So let's just bake a cake. Fine. I ask you, Andrew Garfield, I'm going to write a play about Masterpiece Cake Shop. It's about how the Christian family in that case was victimized by vindictive LGBT activists and who almost ruined their business and destroyed their lives. I would like you to play the lead. I would like Andrew Garfield to play the lead as the Christian man who refused service to the same-sex wedding out of religious conviction and then almost had his life destroyed by a bunch of vindictive bureaucrats. And you should play that lead. Act the part. You know, if everybody, why can't we all just act the parts that we're asked to act? I'm happy to pay you your salary. I'll raise the money to do it. And you can star in it, Andrew Garfield. I mean, I'm serious about this. I will go raise the money right now. If he pledges to act in this play, I will write it, and then we'll go get the money, and Andrew Garfield can act. It'll be great. Because he shouldn't have any say as to what sort of parts he acts. He should just act whatever part comes in front of him. And if he has moral scruples about that part, well, why can't he be tolerant? Why can't he be a more tolerant person? Why can't he just act the part that people want him to act and are willing to pay him to act? I'm willing to even pay him his money. I'm not saying do it for free. Okay, this is the stupidity of this position. Okay, this idea, just bake the cake, just bake the cake. What if I don't want to bake the cake? It's a free damn country. I get to not bake the cake if I don't want to bake the cake. And the fact that Andrew Garfield stands up there and is lecturing everybody about what cake to bake, he's an artist too. He should know. He should know when it is appropriate and when it is not to force people to do things. As an artist, I do not get to force my perception of what Andrew Garfield should act upon Andrew Garfield. That's not the way this works. Even though he's in the public square, even though he's operating in the area of commerce, I don't get to do that. But according to Andrew Garfield, everybody else should have to do that because he is upset that gay weddings aren't going to get the cake from the Christian shop as opposed to the cake from every other bake shop in America owned by a gay person. Like, it's ridiculous, and it's over the top. And again, it's virtue signaling in front of a bunch of people who agree with him, and so he gets big cheers for that. If you wanted to actually be brave, you should have gone out there and said, we all need to tolerate one another, and that means that I'm willing to tolerate the Christian baker who doesn't want to cater my same-sex wedding, and the Christian baker should tolerate me when I come in and ask for a cake. Right? He doesn't want to do that, right? Instead, he wants to engage in a bit of, let me tell you what to do, which is what the entire left apparently wants to do now. So that's just wonderful.